Game 2 here looks like a massive governor board here. Other cards that are relevant, Forager can trash, get you thin, and also provide a source of plus buy. Often with these governor decks, you want a plus buy in there because you have quite a bit of gold and would like to make more use of all that money. There's also arms, which I do open here on this 2-5. There's also market square, which I noticed a bit later. You can trash with either governor or forager and get a bunch of golds that way. And getting gold is good for your governor. This is the whole point of the deck, to remodel gold into province. There's also junk dealer, which I considered opening here. And there's also bridge troll, another source of plus buy and an attack. And there's gardens, so that's something to keep in mind. When remodeling starts to occur, silvers can turn into gardens. Here I open with the 2-5, I buy arms, getting a forager, and 5 here is Governarelli, junk dealer. I mean, forager will clean you up fast enough anyway, there's no need for junk dealer. Here my opponent opens double arms, gets a forager and a silver. Here the play is quite easy, I think, which is, not always the case in governor games. You never know, I never know what to do. Well, it is difficult to make decisions with governor on the board when you're playing a governor heavy strategy. Here I trash away the estate and gain a gold with the governor, buy arms to pick up another forager. My opponent gets rid of an estate and picks up another forager as well. Here I have a choice between forager and market square. I opt for the forager here. 3 foragers should be very good to get me thin and will also provide a lot of plus buy. Then I can see about getting market squares more, getting goals through market squares more efficiently. So here with 5 I trash away the estate and pick up another governor, a fairly simple enough turn here. This turn is a bit less simple for me. My opponent buys arms and picks up a market square. So they have 2 foragers on a market square, whereas I have 3 foragers at this point. So here I can either gain gold with this governor or draw through. I opt to draw through. I trash a copper first with the forager because I have to trash 2 cards here and I want the trashing of the estate to net me $1. I get up to 5 exactly and pick up another governor. Here my opponent trashes a silver and turns it into a governor. And here I spend a bit of time thinking about what to do. Whether or not to trash the copper is the question really. There's no other sensible choice. Trashing the copper means I thin a bit more quickly. It also means that I would have to draw with this governor here because there's no targets for my forager currently. So my opponent picks up 2 governors on that turn. I draw through with this governor here. And I opt at this point here to use one of these foragers to trash a gold to make foragers with 3 coin each. Should benefit me a bit more because I have the extra forager. And here I just gain 2 golds with the remaining governors. And I am able to buy a governor and an arms, and now I pick up a market square. So I finally have the market square. I can potentially gain gold. This hand is not so great for me, but forager is worth 3 coin at this point, so I can at least pick up a governor here. My opponent draws me into another forager, so I have a bit more money at this point, and the second governor my opponent plays draws me into a governor. So my turn is alive here at this point. My opponent trashes away 2 things with the forager, comes up with 12, goes for double governor and a haven. So there's 1 governor left, which I will get here. Here I make a bit of a misplay. First I should have drawn with the governor to try to find the market square, which I do end up finding, so I can discard it and gain a gold off of the trashing here. However, it didn't turn out to bite me, or it worked out fine, is what I'm trying to say. So here I gain a gold with this governor, and now I'm trying to decide whether or not to put this copper into play. I can buy 2 5s if I do, If I don't, I can buy governor, arms, and something else, which is a market square. So with the arms, I can get 2 market squares. So now I have 3 market squares in my deck. And I think this copper is the last copper in my deck. So once the governors are out in our governor game, now the mind games start to come into play. You need to keep track of what your opponent can do and how many governors have been played and so many things. My opponent remodels a gold here and reveals a market square to regain that gold and buys a province. So 2 provinces are gone. My opponent has remodeled into one and bought one. I play a governor for cards here. This is something you have to be careful about doing. At this point, I'm trying to find that copper so that I can discard all 3 of these market squares for gold here. So again, here I have decisions. I can draw with this governor to pick up all the gained goals, or instead I can remodel these goals into provinces. Those are really my 2 choices. I choose to go for the remodeling option because I think at this point I counted that my opponent only had 3 gold in their deck, so there was no way that they could get 4 provinces, I thought, because they can remodel 2 and buy 1 province, but I didn't think they could get 4 provinces. Yeah, I didn't think they could get 4 provinces. So there on 12, I go for double duchy and a haven because I think buying another province there would have caused me to lose the game very quickly. Here my opponent now remodels silver into duchy. So they too are not touching the province pile because they feel that I'm able to get 3 provinces, and they pick up 3 more duchies there with 15 coins. So quite a bit of money, and they pull ahead 24 to 18 right now. I play the haven first because, well, it has to be played. There isn't really anything else you're going to do with that haven, just to see what my hand would look like. Save a province. Here I play these 3 market squares instead of using them to gain gold because I want to go through my deck to see if I can get to 4 provinces. I thought I was able to at this point, but I miscalculated, which is why I pause on this governor play here and see how best I can fix my situation. I believe there are 2 goals at the top of my deck, and for some reason I thought me drawing the 2 goals will let me quad province. I can remodel 2 of the goals, but then I won't have 16 coin to finish out the game here. So I spend some time thinking and decide here to remodel this forager into a duchy. With the remaining governors, I will gain more gold and just trying to hold out for one more turn. Maybe I can get one big push that would let me quad province maybe. So here I get the last duchy, a gardens, and another market square. So I believe we split the duchies, I'm not entirely sure. And we each have 1 gardens at this point, I believe. My opponent draws twice with the governors here, so I'm counting these things. As long as they're not remodeling, I'm happy. The 3rd one remodels gold into province, so now I'm a bit worried that they have some kind of quad province in hand, and it is why I change my forager into a gardens. However, they don't have that quad province, and instead pick up a gardens with that province. Here, this turn is not at all good for me. There's no governors in my hand. Just have 9 coin, and I'm trying to decide what to do here. 2 gardens is suicidal. The only other source of points are provinces and estates. I'm tracking the log to see how many governors my opponent has played, how likely they are to make things happen. And then I reason that, well, if my opponent can get 2 provinces at this point, I probably lose anyway. So I take the province there with that 9 coin hand and a copper to hopefully boost gardens. I don't plan to see that copper for the rest of the game, which is why I bought it. It will just help me at this point. So my opponent here draws twice again with the governors. Drawing is very scary with governor because you never know what you give your opponent. My opponent trashes two things there with Forager, comes up with 9. And now they have to make an interesting decision as to what to do here. So they go for a gardens, an estate, and another estate here. But that play means that I have the winning hand right here. I can just remodel these two goals into two provinces and close out the game. It doesn't matter if they turn silvers into gardens, I will just score too many points for that to matter. And I can even buy a gardens here through arms. So that's game 2. Thanks for watching. Feedback is always welcome.